Okay, folks, Danny Boyd, good for the first down. We're back on the air. Of course, we had to change tapes there for you. Didn't miss anything but about the first half of that play as Danny Boyd picked up the first down, a crucial play for Norristown, and you called it, Alan.
Pitch to Boyd, and they picked it up. Probably the biggest 4 yards that he had all evening.
So from the 38-yard line, the clock is running, 45 seconds to go, and Norristown should be able to seal this victory.
And I believe PW is out of timeouts here, Jeff.
Well, Frank Casano is going to fall on the ball, and that's all there is to it. All they have to do is secure that snap, and there he is. Frank Casano takes a fall. So that'll be 2nd down and 11. Clock's going to run. This will be the last timeout for PW, I believe, with 29 seconds remaining. So once again, Mr. Raleigh comes up short there in the statistics department, but that's all right. We don't mind, Al. Your fans still love you.
Tony Coy gave me the bad information. Rule number 1, always know who to put the blame on.
That's right. That's right. First rule of broadcasting. And since you have the mic, you can blame anybody you want.
That's right.
What are they going to do, refute it in the paper?
Well, news program.
We want to remind you folks that the Norristown School cable channel does provide educational programming for you. Please stay tuned for other shows of interest on this channel, channel 14 on your cable selector box. We don't just carry sports, there's some really super shows that come your way.
This has to be over a year old. $4, 10 years old.
And once again, Casano falls on the ball. 14-13, the Eagles ahead, and I believe that's going to be it, folks. Yep, 19 seconds.
Okay.
And teams are going to stay on the field and watch the clock run out. 10 seconds. As the fans count down here at Roosevelt Field. 5 seconds. And I'll tell you, the Norristown Eagles squeak by with a 14-13 victory. Big win for Norristown, tough defeat for Plymouth-Whitemarsh. But there it is, our final score. The Eagles on top, 14-13. Alan and I will be back in just a moment with a post-game show.
Quick and effective.
I got it tonight.
We're back here after the game. Norristown squeaking out a 14-13 victory over the Colonials of Plymouth-Whitemarsh. Quite a nail-biter here. It went down to the final few ticks on the clock. Not a very impressive performance by the Eagles. Of course, a W in the win column. It looks good. But as we all saw in this contest, the Eagles certainly had their problems with the Colonials. I don't know if it was because they were overconfident, if they're blasting Kendrick out of the park 49-0. They came out here. They seemed flat tonight, Jeff.
You're right. And
Thank you.
All I can say is my father always told me it's better to be lucky than good, and tonight Norristown was lucky. They did not play an impressive ball game, as you said. They did not get their offense on track at all in this game, as far as I'm concerned. Danny Boyd was the big player for Norristown without a question. 2 big runs in the first half. Of course, that one 42-yard run for a touchdown, Norristown's first score in this ball game, and then the big pass reception after the Walt Favacchia interception. 4th down, Danny Boyd. Great reception.
On a botched punt attempt, we should mention. Frank Casano, a naked bootleg there because he had 4 PW defenders breathing down his neck, and suddenly he just lofted the ball and it came right down in Danny Boyd's arms.
Well, mentioning the botched punt attempt, I think Norristown has to take a look at their special teams. Bad snaps from center all night, couple poor kickoffs. Offensively, they're fine. They're running the ball back nicely. I think they're putting a nice wedge together, but I think they ought to look at their defensive special teams for the next ball game, because that can be so important.
And tonight, you know, it was a very entertaining game. It's surprising because now I'm standing here and I'm saying Norristown won by 1 point, 14-13, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, PW just totally outplayed him here this evening. They had a nickel and dime attack. They used quite a few combinations of running backs, especially Lenny Moore, who had I think, the best performance out of everyone here other than Mickey Pergine. And Pergine, how can we not mention him? He demonstrated how fine a signal caller he is. He just tore apart the Eagles' secondary. And Norristown also had some problems getting a good pass rush this evening. Well, I give a lot of credit to Mickey Pergine and also to Pete Smarecki, who made some phenomenal catches this evening, and Lenny Moore, as you say. But I think it comes down to the fact that Mickey Pergine threw 2 interceptions in the 4th quarter that lost the ball game for him. Exactly.
That's all it comes down to. Norristown got the big breaks when they needed them. Brian Ward with a big interception and a Walt Favakia with a bigger interception.
Okay, recapping the scoring for you. It was a scoreless first quarter. 9:32 left to go in the first half. Mickey Virginia's first touchdown pass, his second of the season. It was a 5-yarder, too, of all people, Lenny Moore. The Eagles, a big break, though, after Theron Ellis sacked Virginia for a 19-yard loss. The Colonials had the ball then on 4th down, maybe on about the half-foot line. Yeah. They were forced to punt, and Troy Bias simply fielded the snap, took it cleanly, and stepped over the end line, and the Eagles got a safety. That's
right. Crucial mistake for the Colonials. Bias called for the safety. Then, of course, Colonials had to punt to Norristown. The Eagles able to drive down. Forrest Davis with a nice kickoff return. First play from scrimmage, they go to Danny Boyd. Danny Boyd runs 42 yards around the right side for a touchdown, and all of a sudden the Eagles are ahead 8-7.
And that's how it stood going into the third quarter. In that third quarter, then, finally, Mickey Virgin, 1 minute to go in a very quick and entertaining third quarter, hitting Pete Smorecki, a 15-yard TD toss. That's his third TD pass of the season, and the second time he's connected with Smorecki, who had 5 receptions this evening, as you noted. An excellent game for him. Then the Eagles finally tying it with 2:38 left to go. They took the lead. Danny Boyd, that 2-yard run. The two-pointer taken back because of a very fluky call.
Yeah, well, we were a little bit confused up in the press box, and I believe the call was illegal, use of
not having the proper equipment on the field.
That's right.
Either someone didn't have a mouth guard or a chin strap, something like that.
That mind blank.
So they, after the 2-point conversion, in case you missed it, they took it away, and you lose the down. So the Eagles were forced to kick. Yeah. They still tried to give the game away when their kickoff man shanked the kickoff, and Mickey Virgin took over at about the 47-yard line, and then he threw that costly interception when PW was all the way down to the 32 of the Eagles.
That's right. Then the Eagles, of course, give the ball back to them again, and they finally run out the clock. But I'll tell you, what a harrowing fourth quarter, in Norristown extremely lucky to come out of this ball game with a win. They've got Methacton next week. It's going to be a tough ball game. A lot of the Methacton players and coaches were here tonight scouting. I think the Eagles have their work cut out for them against the Warriors.
Well, I'm telling you, I have a simple explanation for all of this. I told you in the pregame show, if you have a sense of deja vu about this, last year PW upset Norristown 22-20. It was on Friday the 13th, September 13th. Here it is again. This time Norristown, the luckier ones. They at least came away with the victory. As you said, they take on Methacton here at Roosevelt Field. Game time 7:30, Friday evening, September 20th. Then September 27th, also a 7:30 Friday evening affair right here. The Eagles, after opening up against Bishop Kenrick, PW this evening, and Methacton, they open up their regular Suburban 1 League National Conference play against the defending champs, the Falcons of Pennsbury. If the Eagles play like they did this evening, Pennsbury will blow them out of the stadium, I'm sure. Jeff, you have the people to thank for us this evening?
That's right. We'd like to thank, of course, Mr. Tony Koya for producing and directing our show this evening, the Norristown Area School District for bringing it to us, and Missy Luter and Denise McCoskey for running camera for us here this evening.
You do that so well.
I try and I try and I try. I don't know the calls yet, but I'm working on the camera people.
And don't forget, make sure you pay attention to your Norristown cable channel, number 14 on your dial. You'll check the slate of the upcoming Eagles games here at Roosevelt Field, and beside that, community news and, of course, future programming, not just athletic events, here on your Norristown cable channel. For Jeff Brandon, I'm Alan Rowley. Take care and join us again for another Eagles telecast.